So Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition has indeed released for the Nintendo Switch, and you know RPG 85 is going to talk about it. Now, I played this game on the Wii U, and I was in love with it. Now, you probably didn't play it on the Wii U because you didn't own a Wii U. You weren't a Wii U weirdo like me. But I thought this game was brilliant, but it was definitely pushing the Wii U to like its absolute limits. Like it definitely felt like your Wii U was going to explode at some point in time when playing it. You had to download like additional texture packs and stuff for it. It was very bizarre. And I always felt like this game being stuck on the Wii U was a travesty because even if you're like a huge fan of Xenoblade Chronicles, or even if you're not a fan of Xenoblade, like I feel like this game is different and unique enough to where you don't have to be a fan of the previous games and the other games because it doesn't really tie in. But if you are a fan of Xenoblade games, you'll also like this game. So I just want to talk about this game. I want to talk about, what it's all about, talk about the good, a little bit of the bad, but I really just want to gush about this game. So you would think with like it being an RPG, you have like a big story and stuff like that, like Xenoblade games are known for, your iconic characters and crap. Whereas in this game, you actually just play kind of as like yourself. Essentially what has happened is Earth has been blown up during a war, and now the humans are settling on a new planet and trying to rebuild it. There is a new Los Angeles is what they call it. No feces on the street yet, but don't worry, folks. I'm sure that will come in time. Yeah, that joke's going to get me in trouble. But they're basically trying to restart civilization. And you are discovered. You have no memory of who you are or how you got there or what your role is in this world. And then the game kind of starts out. The overarching story, I think, is solid. It kind of leans more into the sci-fi and fantasy elements. You come across, as you're exploring the terrain, you come across a race of aliens. Why are they there? Trying to find out who you are and gain your memories back. It's not like the most engrossing story in the world or anything like that, but I think it's a good enough story to where it's interesting. Now, they've actually added in additional story content into the game that I have not gotten to yet. I'm about 18 or so hours into the game right now, so I haven't experienced the additional story content, and honestly, I probably wouldn't be able to identify the additional stuff compared to the baseline stuff because it's been nearly 10 years since I've played this game, but it's fine. I think it's good at times. There's elements that happen that keep it flowing very nicely, but I feel like it's more so not about you as a character, but about the world that you are in and these people and what they're encountering. Like when you're walking around like the residential or downtown district and people have these little kind of problems that maybe you could equate to like everyday life problems and stuff like that. It really humanizes the game, and it really kind of like brings everything together in a sense of like community, I guess would be the word I'd be looking for. People looking out for each other, people trying to essentially survive during this crazy time frame that they are in. So if the story isn't like the greatest narrative in the world, where does Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition excel? And oh my, it is excelling in the most important aspect of anything: gameplay. I absolutely love the gameplay in this game. The exploration, I talked about with Avowed. Avowed had great exploration. The exploration in this game is just top notch though. It's such a fun thing to be going. Like the map is huge. The map is absolutely massive, and you are just going throughout these different areas with different like climates and stuff like that, with these different massive creatures all around, and every little area, every little segment of the map has something to do, whether it's a tyrant, which is a super big creature that you need to take out that has been threatening citizens of the town, or there's treasure to be found, or there's alien wreckage that you need to discover and document in order to upgrade your field stuff in your field, because you're trying to see the world. You're trying to explore the world and connect the world into the settlement that has been built so that people know what's out there. Like, bro, it is just so much fun. It is so much fun. I haven't even gotten the scale yet, which is the big armor suit, the mech suit that you get in the game. I did get to that point in the Wii U, and that kind of opens up the exploration even more because now you're flying through the skies. But even when you're just on the ground, like, it is so satisfying. And areas that you've been to, like, you might not notice, oh, there's a big cave, and then there's like a whole cave system underneath. Different areas have different creatures, they have different climates. It's so satisfying just going around, running around, jumping around. There's no fall damage either because you can jump off some crazy stuff. But just like seeing these massive creatures like walking around alongside of you, and I get it, you know, it's in other Xenoblade games for sure, but there's just something so satisfying about like the setting because they're more like dinosaur things. And I mean, I'm a giant kid and I love dinosaurs. Then you also have the combat of the game, which I think is great. You know, Xenoblade Chronicles combat can be a little bit weird for people because a lot of it is autoed. You know, it's doing it on its own. Like when you start a fight, your character just starts shooting or starts using a sword or whatever class you have. And there's a million different classes you can do. But I'm a basic bitch and I'm going to use a sword and gun combo. But what's cool about it is the arts. So as you level up your character or level up your skill set or level up your class, you get additional arts that are things that you control, kind of like super attacks and whatnot. And what's nice is like your teammates are constantly telling you things like, oh, move in and do a melee attack. And then you move in and do a melee attack and a little meter comes up on the screen. You time the button press right. Your teammates are now stoked on you. You're getting better synergy and your teammates will get healed along with you. And this really keeps the combat interesting because you're constantly getting new arts and you're constantly adding into what sort of moves you can and can't do. And I find it very, very, very satisfying. You know, there's synergy attacks and stuff that you should do alongside of other people. You unlock like super attacks. Like it's so satisfying and it's so much fun. You know, it's a little bit more hands off than some like action RPGs, and it's definitely not quite the same as a turn-based RPG, but that's kind of what makes Xenoblade games unique is the combat. And I just feel like it's very well done in this game because it constantly keeps you on your toes. Like you have to pay attention. You can't just set your system down, you know, like a turn-based game or something. You got to be on your toes. You got to be, you know, reading the battle, seeing what you need to do and seeing what you don't need to do. Performance-wise, I think the performance and, you know, graphics, audio, great. You know, that was kind of one of the issues on the Wii U was the fact that, you know, there was graphical issues with the game, and some of them still kind of do exist. You know, the pop-up, you know, the draw distance sometimes can be a little bit jarring, but I love the aesthetic and like the visual style of this game, and I think it stands out from the other Xenoblade games. They did try to make the characters look a little bit more like Xenoblade characters do in other games, whereas they looked a little bit more human in well, at least like your side characters and stuff in the original version of the game. But I think it actually fits better. Like it actually looks kind of better. And like they've cleaned up the visuals. They've sharpened up everything. And you just get some absolutely breathtaking landscapes. Like just I know this is a 10-year-old game, but like this is a game to me much like Resident Evil Revelations where I look at the game and I'm like, yes, this is a 10-year-old game. But do I really need graphics that much better than this? Like, shouldn't we be focusing on gameplay experiences? Shouldn't we be focusing on trying to expand gaming instead of just expanding the graphics? The audio in the game is really well done. All of the voice acting is top notch, definitely better than Assassin's Creed Shadows. The music in the game is really cool, kind of Linkin Park inspired. You know, there's a lot of, you know, guitar riffs and like a dude rapping and stuff like that. And then sometimes like a girl will come along and sing like a hook. And then sometimes there's more like, I don't know what the word would be, like more organic music, like, you know, like drums and flutes and crap like that in certain areas. It's definitely very, you know, suiting for the environments that you are in. And the game is chocked with content. Like, and I like how they kind of drip feed the content to you. As you level up your character, you're constantly learning new things that you can do within the world. You're getting new types of abilities and stuff like that. The map itself is absolutely massive. You know, trying to find all the different points where you got to put a beacon down so that you can increase discovery in the regions. Like, this is a game that's going to take you a very, very long time, but you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with it. And sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, like, I'm not going to lie, but they've added in a lot of tutorials and stuff like that. There's tons of quality of life improvements. The loading times are so much better. They were kind of really rocky on the Nintendo Wii U version of the game. As far as like my main complaint is concerned, my main complaint with the game is when you are in a cutscene, you can't fast forward the cutscene or like skip to the next moment. So like when a character is speaking, you have to listen to them go through all of their dialogue. And I'm not a huge fan of that because I'm reading faster than they're talking. If I could press a button and go to the next, you know, part of it, instead of my only option is to just entirely skip the cutscene. I do wish that they would have implemented that because I feel like it would have made the game flow a little bit better for me personally. Some of these cutscenes can be very long with lots of dialogue, and like it's good to have that sort of stuff, but I feel like it's good to have the option to kind of fast forward a little bit, go to the next person talking and all that sort of stuff. But really with this video, I'm just scratching the surface. Like, this is basic bitch stuff when it comes to this game because there's so much more I could talk about. You know, all the different arts, all the leveling up and all the customization you can do with your characters, all the different people you could swap in and out of your team, all that have like affinity missions, which kind of help build, you know, camaraderie with these people. And the more, you know, they like you, the better they perform when in combat. There's just so much stuff in this game, and I absolutely love it. Like, if you like RPGs and you own a Nintendo Switch, you need this game. Like, you absolutely need this game. It's so satisfying. It's so much fun. It's so much fun, especially if you love exploration. If you're a big fan of exploration in your games, this is the game for you. You will be constantly finding things. You'll constantly be going into different areas. You'll constantly be figuring out, how the hell do I get up there? And then when you get up there, so satisfying, man. So satisfying. So let me know. Let me know what you're thinking of this. I just captured some random gameplay footage. I don't know how well it'll sync up to everything. Probably not all that good, but I just wanted to gush about this game for a little bit because it's awesome, man. I love this game. I'm having so much fun playing it, you know, remembering things. Dude, like, people give me shit for, like, not remembering stuff when it comes to like games. Like, bro, I've played a lot of games. Like, you know, replaying this, I'm like, oh yeah, this happens. Oh yeah, I remember going here. Oh yeah, I remember seeing this. Like, it's very fun to be revisiting some of this stuff, and I can't wait to play more of it. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. RPG85 here for all your RPG needs, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.